welcome back to the channel. I am Chase. I was going to post yesterday, and this topic that I'm going to talk about today got, well, it's a very heavy topic, and I was trying to get a video out yesterday, but there was too much. The rabbit hole got too deep, and I was just like, I need another day, mainly to process it all and to get a video out. So there's a TED Talk that has resurfaced again, and where the orator is talking about pedophilia. It's obviously causing outrage, and the Twitter mobs are angry, as well as they should be. I'm full support. Now, this TED Talk came out, I think it was about a year ago. I actually remember when it came out, and I remember the outrage then, and TED Talks actually took it down. And so basically it's resurfaced again, and people are getting outraged over it. And I think it's something that's worth commenting on. I know this isn't usually, if you go back in my history of my videos, this isn't usually what I talk about, but it's not something I want to shy away from either. So that's why we're here. This lady, her name is Mirjam Heine. Forgive me, my German is non-existent. Throw up a Spanish name up there, I got it. I got you covered. But throw up German, I have no idea how to actually pronounce it. Anyway, she is the speaker, and she is talking about pedophilia, and this was the video that was circulating. The one on Twitter was about 2 minutes, and the whole thing is about 13 minutes long. So if you want to go find it, you can definitely search it out and find it. So this one I kind of cut down and took out the parts that I thought were took out the parts that I thought were most important. So here we go. Let's go ahead and go through it and kind of break down what she's talking about. So let's get started.
According to current research, pedophilia is an unchangeable sexual orientation, just like, for example, heterosexuality.
Okay. First off, well, let's just finish.
No one chooses to be a pedophile. No one can cease being one.
Okay. So I like how she jumps to the comparison right away that pedophilia is like heterosexuality. She doesn't go into, because, you know, the other ones like homosexuality, pansexuality, bisexuality, and all the other ones that are out there, she just immediately compares it to heterosexuality. And it's like, hey, don't just lump us with the pedos, okay? If the pedos are going to come in, it's going to touch everybody. Okay, let me rephrase that. If the pedos are going to come in, everybody's affected. Everybody's going to have to deal with it. Okay? Not just the heterosexuals.
The difference between pedophilia and other sexual orientations is that living out this sexual orientation will end in a disaster. At the moment, we live in a world that already excludes pedophiles because of their preference alone. Right now, most of us feel discomfort when we think about this scenario.
She's right.
And most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles. But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them, but we are responsible for our actions.
Okay. So, what she's doing here is she's building an argument that pedophiles are people too, and that they don't choose to be this way, they were born this way, and all that. Now, I'm not just going to sit here and discredit that or say that that's baloney, because I do believe that there is a psychological problem for people that have this disorder, is what I'm going to call it. And they do need help. So I'm not going to discredit and say, it's whatever. Yeah, let's just go ahead
and we must make a decision. It is in our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles. And
okay, so now what she's doing is she's putting the onus on us that they can be pedophiles. She's basically allowing that, you know what, it's a sexual orientation like any of the others. Okay? So it is our responsibility to accept that and go forward with that, to remove any negative connotations we might have towards pedophilia. Okay? It is our responsibility to correct that, which is, it's highly unfair.
to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference, a thought, a feeling, and not an act. We should differentiate between child sexual abuse and pedophilia.
So, again, she's making the claim that we need to understand that pedophilia and child sexual abuse are different. Okay? Now, Grant, I will give her that. Okay? It's hard for me to say that, but I can understand where she's trying to make the point that child sexual abuse and pedophilia are different, but they are intertwined.
We shouldn't increase the suffering of pedophiles by excluding them, by blaming and mocking them. By doing that, we increase their isolation and we increase the chance of child sexual abuse.
Again, she's laying the onus on us. She's saying that we need to accept them, we need to understand it, we need to be okay with it, and realize, hey, this is just another sexual orientation that you need to be okay with. Because if you don't, then they're going to feel bad about themselves, and then they're going to go act on their impulses. They're going to go commit child sexual abuse, and you know whose fault it's going to be? Yours. Because you didn't accept them for who they were to begin with. See, she literally said, we will be responsible for it. Not the predator, but us. So she's alleviating any kind of responsibility that the pedophile would have.
Only if they make themselves recognizable, because they're not afraid of punishment, of anger and rejection, can we better understand the causes of pedophilia, and we can improve their treatment. We can help them accept their sexuality and help them learn to refrain from acting on their sexual urges which cause harm to children.
Now, I do agree with her here, okay, that I don't, now, here's the thing. If somebody has a desire to commit murder, okay, or do other very devious acts, okay, I don't think it's wise for them to come out and publicly share that information, okay? It's just not wise to do that. That's kind of where she's, that is where she's going with it. A pedophile, if you have those urges or whatever, those tendencies, then it should be shared with a therapist. It should be shared with somebody who is very, very, very close to you, like a parent or something. You don't broadcast that to the world, okay? People with PTSD, that's what they do. They'll share the most traumatic memories with just very trusted individual, because that's not something that the world needs to know. And she's talking about treatment and therapy. which this is a sexual orientation. We'll get into that a little bit later because she might be running into problems with that.
As a medical student with a background in psychology, I feel it as my responsibility to help others overcome and escape wrong stigmatization and to have a positive impact on our future society. By changing our view about pedophilia as a society and by offering them support and therapy, we can help millions of people to live better lives.
Now, I appreciate her desire to want to help. I think she has some right ideas to help. And she even goes on, I'm not going to share the whole thing because that would just take too long. But she does go on to explain that before she got into all this, that she was very much of the opposition and just very prejudiced against pedophiles, like the general consensus that everybody has, and how her view changed after diving more into it. So, but what she says there at the end is getting them treatment and therapy. Okay? While I agree with her that is the best thing we should do for them, I don't know if that will be available in the near future. In her country right now, the health minister, I forget his name, but the health minister of Germany is very actively making it a law that conversion therapy for any sexual orientation will be outlawed. We are literally seeing right here that she and the general consensus is claiming that pedophilia is a sexual orientation that you cannot help. It is not a choice. You are literally born that way. It is a preference. You have no control over it. That is the general consensus that it is a sexual orientation, just like heterosexuality, just like homosexuality. Is this going to fall under the no conversion therapy for any sexuality? Now, I would imagine at first, no. I think there will. I don't think this will, because I think that's just too much, too fast. But the writing's on the wall. Do I think that it will probably be undone? Yeah. And I think that is where we're heading. That is the scary proposition of the near future. Okay? Is that this illness is on track, to be quite honest, to becoming normalized. Now, I know people will flat out say this will never, ever happen in America. Like, there is so much opposition to it. It's unreal. It would never happen. You go on to Twitter and you will find people who have profiles that literally state they are a MAP or a no MAP. Now, what that means is MAP means minor attracted person. No MAP means not offending minor attracted person. Okay, they will self-identify as that, and they will even give the age range in which they are interested. So 6 to 10, 8 to 12, whatever it might be. These people are active on Twitter, and they post stuff, and it's just out there. Is that part of the normalization process? You tell me. I don't know. I see the writing on the wall, but the Trojan horse was let in a long time ago on this. I mean, you go to, Desmond the Amazing, I think is what his name is. Desmond the Amazing. Okay, this is an 11-year-old boy who dresses in drag, and he does shows, all that kind of thing. He basically dances very provocatively for the entertainment of the people he's dancing for. All right? This kid was literally in a club back in, I think it was last year, December, and he was dancing on stage, and adult men were giving him money, were showering him with dollar bills as he was dancing for them. I only know of one other profession where, you do that, you dance on stage for money. Okay, and this is an 11-year-old boy doing that, getting handed money. It's happening in America, right there in Brooklyn, New York. A few months ago, this drag queen readathon, I don't even remember what it's called. I'm just literally just remembering it right now, where drag queen adult males came and danced, and then little kids were being sent up by their parents to give them money. Little kids going up and handing them money to these drag guys doing that. Just saying. Just saying. Okay? Kids are a target. That's because that is where you can definitely change and alter perception, because they are completely trusting, and that's where you can change things, is targeting little kids. Okay? There's a story by the HuffPost, all right, and it was in concerning the gay pride parade that happening in Canada, and the theme of the post, or the theme of the article, was, should kids be going to gay pride parades? The article basically enforces the idea that yes, they should. And well, let's just take a look at, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna go through the whole article. That'll take too long. But in regards to kids, this is where it stood out to me. So there's this one lady, her name is Bergman here, and she is just a participant in the gay pride parade. She just is there, brings her kids, thinks it's great. And let's see here. Putting on her sex therapist hat, Rem emphasized that pride, from kink to nakedness, is an excellent opportunity for parents to do unbiased sex education. Bergman also pointed out that many children don't even interpret most of what they're seeing in a pride parade as sexual, but rather as dress up or fun. Okay, is that like a backhanded comment? Like, hey, guess what? All this that's happening, the kids don't even know it's sexual. Like, is there a wink coming after that? She also says up here, first of all, nobody likes nakedness more than children. Again, in regards to the pride parade. Look, I'm just saying. Okay, people say it ain't gonna happen here in America or over on the West. If you like this video, please go down and like it. If you haven't already, subscribe. And if you have any comments, like, Chase, you're just fear-mongering. You're a fear-monger. I think you're out of control. You need to tone it down. All right? Please leave those comments down below. I love reading all of them. Anyway, thank you very much. And I promise next video will be a little bit more uplifting than this dark rabbit hole. Anyway, peace out.